Our top story this morning, all eyes will be on South Korea's Constitutional Court later today as it's set to rule on the validity of the highly controversial 2015 Comfort Women Agreement between Seoul and Tokyo. The ruling comes nearly 4 years after the now elderly victims who were forced into sexual slavery by the Japanese military before and during World War II demanded the deal be scrapped. Seung-jae starts us off.
In 2015, South Korea's Park Geun-hye administration and the Japanese government agreed to a deal that will provide 1 billion yen, or roughly $9 million, to a fund to help the Korean victims of Japan's wartime sexual slavery, in return for the South Korean government promising to never raise the issue again.
We have confirmed with the Japanese government that this issue will be finally and irreversibly resolved.
After the announcement, 41 people, many of whom were victims of Japan's sexual slavery, protested the Park administration's unilateral decision and filed a constitutional appeal in March 2016. And after 3 years and 9 months of waiting, South Korea's Constitutional Court will rule on Friday whether the 2015 agreement is unconstitutional. Two main issues will be reviewed at the court from 2 p.m. Korea time. First is whether the agreement can be viewed as an exercise of public power. The argument is that the deal is not a treaty, but merely a diplomatic agreement and cannot be regarded as an exercise of public power. The second issue is whether the victims' basic rights were violated through the agreement. Victims argue they were excluded from the settlement process. The deal prevented their right to demand compensation, and it damaged their dignity and their value as human beings. However, the Foreign Ministry at the time argued the deal was a political declaration between foreign authorities, and the victims' fundamental rights were not directly violated. Watchers say that after Friday's ruling, Seoul and Tokyo may have to reopen negotiations as the victims continue to call for a proper and sincere apology from the Japanese government. Others say that if the court rules the deal unconstitutional, Japan could condemn South Korea for not fulfilling the agreement, and it could stir additional tension between the two neighbors. Seung-jae, Arirang News.